students. Today we will start the chapter Law of Supply. So before we start Law of Supply, we will discuss about supply. What is supply? Supply is basically a supplier is ready or willing to offer to the market at various prices during period of time, or we can say how much a supplier is able to offer to the market at various prices during period of time. So in supply, what firm offer for sale not necessary to what they succeed in selling. It is a flow, that is as per unit of time, per day, per week, or per year. Now there is a definition of supply first given by Professor Thomas. The supply of goods is the quantity offered for sale in a given market at a given time at various prices. Next definition is given by Samuelson. Supply refers to the amount of a good that producer in a given market desire to sell during a given time period at various prices, ceteris paribus, or means other thing remaining the same. Now we will discuss about determinants of supply. So there are basically 6 determinants. First is price of the good, price of related goods, price of factor of production, state of technology, government policy, and other factors also affect the supply. So next we will discuss in detail. So first is a price of the commodity. Ceteris paribus, that is other things being equal. We are taking other factors considered to be constant. So relative price of the good. First is quantity supplied. This happens because goods are produced by the firm to gain profit. Profit rises when price rises. So supply is always on the there is a relation between a price and quantity supplied, and they both work in a same direction, or we can say there is a direct relationship between the price and supply. Next is the determinant of supply, price of the related good. Related goods में केस में हम ले सकते हैं price of related good is y, quantity supplied of other good x. If the price of y is increasing, then supplier is ready to sell more of good y and he will sacrifice good x. So rise in price of related good make it more profitable for the firm to produce and sell. For example, if he is selling two product, wheat and rice is more profitable for him, और हम ये भी कह सकते हैं कि अगर राइस से उसको ज़्यादा प्रॉफिट हो रहा है तो उस केस में वो क्या करेगा, सप्लाई जो वीट का है उसको कम कर देगा और राइस का सप्लाई जो है उसको इंक्रीज़ कर देगा. Next determinant of supply, prices of factor of production. Factor of production also affect the supply. First is change in price of factor of production. Then change in relative profitability of different line of production. Producer shift from one line to another because that will be more profitable for him. Supply of different commodity change. He can change the product line also. He will produce more only those commodity which is more profitable for him. नेक्स्ट डिटर्मिनेंट इज गवर्नमेंट पॉलिसी. गवर्नमेंट की पॉलिसी भी जो है सप्लाई को डायरेक्टली अफेक्ट करती है. सपोज गवर्नमेंट जो है इम्पोजिशन कर रही है टैक्सेस का, कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन इंक्रीज हो जाएगा तो उस केस में सप्लाई कम हो सकती है, और सब्सिडीज़ जो है वो कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन को रिड्यूस कर देते हैं तो उससे फर्म की सप्लाई जो है वो इंक्रीज हो जाएगी. नेक्स्ट है स्टेट ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी. स्टेट ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी में हम ये बात कर सकते हैं कि अगर आप ज़्यादा कॉस्ट एफिशिएंट टेक्नोलॉजी को यूज़ करते हैं तो उससे आपका प्रोडक्शन जो है वो बढ़ जाएगा, और प्रोडक्शन के बढ़ने से वो सप्लायर के लिए ज़्यादा प्रॉफिटेबल हो जाएगा. और अगर उसके अदर एस्पेक्ट देखें कि अगर हम आउटडेटेड टेक्नोलॉजी को यूज़ कर रहे हैं तो उस केस में क्या होगा, आपकी कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन बढ़ेगी और दैट इज़ नॉट प्रॉफिटेबल फॉर द सेलर, सो ही विल रिड्यूस द सप्लाई. There are some other factors also like government, industrial and foreign policy, goal of the firm, market structure, etc. Next concept is law of supply. Law of supply states that other thing being equal, higher the price, the greater the quantity supplied, or lower the price, the smaller the quantity supplied. This is given by Dooley. Next is a Lipset. given by Lipse. The law of supply states, other thing being equal, the quantity of any commodity that firm will produce and offer for sale is positive related to the commodity's own price rising when price rise और falling when price fall. So law of supply से हमें क्या समझ में आया कि अगर हम बाकी के जो फैक्टर्स हैं उनको कांस्टेंट ले लेते हैं तो सप्लाई का और प्राइस का जो रिलेशन है वो कैसा है, पॉजिटिव रिलेशन. इट मीन्स प्राइस के बढ़ने पर सप्लाई बढ़ती है और प्राइस के कम होने पर सप्लाई कम हो जाती है. So we can say there is a direct relationship between price and quantity supplied. Quantity supplied rise as price rise, other thing constant. Quantity supplied fall as price fall, other thing constant. The law of supply is accounted by two factors. First is when price rise, firms substitute production of one good for another. Assuming firms cost are constant, a higher price means higher profit. So law of supply explains behavior of supply depends upon phenomenon considered, degree of possible adjustment in supply, time taken into consideration, that is short run or long run. Time period is we can say is a very important determinant when we discuss about the supply. Now there are some assumptions. assumptions वही हैं बेटा जो हम determinants को ले रहे हैं. So law of supply hold good when other thing remain the same, meaning thereby the factor affecting supply और we can say जो determinants हैं उनको हमने क्या करना है, constant assume कर लेना है. Now supply function, it means quantity of commodity X is the function of price of commodity, cost of production, technology, or we can say all the determinants. Next is a supply schedule. Supply schedule is a series of quantities which producer would like to sell per unit of time at different prices. Now there are two aspects of supply schedule, individual supply schedule and market supply schedule. In case of individual supply schedule, it is defined as a table which show quantity of a given commodity which an individual produce will sell at all possible prices at a given time. So in this schedule, when price is 1, quantity supplied is 10. When price rise from 1 to 2, quantity supplied increase by 30. When price increase 3, quantity supplied increase by 50. When price rise 5, quantity supplied 80. So in this schedule we can say price and supply has a direct or positive relation. Price increase, quantity supplied also increase. Then market supply schedule, it is defined as the quantities of a given commodity which all producer will sell at all possible prices at a given moment of time. In market, there are many producers of a single commodity. By aggregating the individual supply, the market supply schedule is constructed. So with the help of individual supply, we can find market supply. So in this figure, we have given the price of commodity X and supply by supplier A and supply by supplier B. And when we sum up the supply of both supplier A, supplier B, we get the market supply. So when price is 100, supply by A is 40, supply by B is 50 and market supply is 90. And when price goes to 400, then supply by A is 80, supply of B by 100 and market supply increase to 180. So in market supply, we can also say there is a direct and positive relation between price and market supply. It indicates that when price of commodity X is 100 per unit, A supply is 40 unit, B is 50 units, thus the market supply is 90. As the price increase, quantity supplied also increases. Next topic is supply curve. A supply curve is a locus of points showing various price quantity combination of a seller. It shows the direct relationship between price and quantity supplied. It slope upward to the right. Individual supply curve. In this curve, SS is the supply curve which show a positive relation between price and quantity supplied. When price increases, supply is also increases. Next is the market supply. Market supply is the sum total of supplied by A and B. And when price is 100, quantity supplied is 100, price increased by 200, supply increased by 120 and so on. So we can say there is a again positive or direct relation between price and quantity supplied in the market. Now there are some exceptions of law of supply. Supply, first is a supply of labor. If we take the supply of labor at very high wages, we may find that the supply of labor has decreased instead of increasing because there is an increase in labor. And the second point is agriculture product. Since the production of agriculture product cannot be increased beyond a certain limit, the supply cannot be increased beyond this limit even on an increase in their price. For example, perishable goods. Next is a artistic good. Supply of artistic good cannot be increased or decreased easily. As you know, if you have some rare paintings and if you get more price, but you are not able to produce more of that commodity. Next is a goods of auction. Supply of good of auction is limited, as such cannot neither be increased nor decreased. Hope of change in price of commodity in near future. If the price of commodity is on rising pace, then the supply of such commodity decreases as producer and seller will like to store this commodity and vice versa. Now next concept is expansion and contraction in supply. In case of expansion, if quantity supplied increase when price increase. This is also known as upward movement along the supply curve. In case of contraction, quantity demanded decrease when price decrease, or we can say this is downward movement along the supply curve. So price के decrease होने पर आपका quantity supplied जो है वो भी decrease हो जाता है. This can be explained, extension and contraction in supply can be explained with the help of following figure. SS is the supply curve. When price increase from P to P dash, then supply is increased from Q to Qn. This is called extension of supply. When price is decreased from P to P dash and Q to L, this is known as contraction of supply. Next concept is increase and decrease in supply. Increase and decrease in supply is due to change in other factor, and in that case supply curve is either shift to the rightward or leftward. If supply curve is shift to the rightward, this is called increase in supply, and when supply curve is shifted to the left side, this is known as decrease in supply. This can again explain with the help of following figure. In case of increase in supply, there is on constant price. If price remain the same, there is change in the determinants. Supply will increase, and in the other case, decrease in supply, on the same price supply can also be decreased due to change in the determinants. Next topic is elasticity of supply. Elasticity of supply is defined as the responsiveness of the quantity supplied of a good to change in its price, and the formula is percentage change in quantity supplied upon percentage change in price. And next formula is delta Q upon delta P multiplied by P upon Q, as given in the this formula. Delta P is known as change in quantity supplied, delta P is change in price, Q is original quantity supplied, P is original price, and ES is stand for price elasticity of supply. Now there are 5 degrees in price elasticity of supply. Perfectly elastic, in that case elasticity of supply is infinity. Second is perfectly inelastic. In case of perfectly inelastic supply, elasticity is equal to 0. Unit elastic, ES is equal to 1. More than unit elastic, ES is greater than 1. Less than unit elastic, that is ES is less than 1. So first is a perfectly elastic supply. A perfect elastic supply is one in which there is a significant change in supply of a commodity without any change or little change in its price. It is an imaginary concept. In practical life, there is no commodity in the supply which is perfectly elastic. So as shown in the figure, on the same price, supply can be 10, 20 and 30. So as we have already we already know about this, this is an imaginary concept. In real life, it is not possible. Next is a perfectly inelastic supply. Perfectly inelastic supply is one in which a change in price produces no change in the quantity supplied. Again, this is an imaginary concept. In practical life, there is no commodity, the supply of which is perfectly inelastic. So, in case of perfectly inelastic supply, the supply curve is parallel to OY axis. It means if price is increased by 2 to 4 or 6, but supply is still remaining the same, there is no change in supply. So, that's why ES is equal to 0. Next is unitary elastic supply. In case of unitary elastic, demand is one which is percentage change in price produced and equal to percentage change in quantity supplied. So this is a elastic supply, not a demand. So supply curve is start from the origin, and this show a 45-degree angle. Proportionate change, it means delta P and delta Q will be the same. So when you divide 50 by 50, you get 1. So in that case, elasticity is equal to 1. Greater than unitary elastic supply. Greater than unitary elastic supply is one which a given percentage change in price produce relatively more percentage change in price. It means when there is a change in price, but quantity supplied में जो चेंज है वो ज़्यादा आ रहा है एज़ कम्पेयर टू चेंज इन प्राइस, देन इट इज़ सेड टू बी अ यूनिटरी इलास्टिक सप्लाई बिकॉज ES is greater than 1. Next is a less than unitary elastic supply. Less than unitary elastic supply is one in which a given percentage change in price produces relatively less percentage change in quantity supplied. So in this figure, there is a change in price, but comparatively change in price is more as compared to change in supply. So that's why ES is less than 1. Next concept is point elasticity of supply. Refers to measuring the elasticity at a particular point on supply curve. Makes use of derivative change rather than finite changes in price and quantity supplied, and this is defined as dq upon dp multiplied by p upon q. So this is the differentiation of supply function, or we can say price at a point of supply curve. Next is the arc elasticity of supply. When elasticity is to be found between 2 points, we use arc elasticity, and this formula is used to calculate arc elasticity of supply. Arc elasticity of supply can be found out with the help of following example, in which you have given the price of commodity 1, 2 and quantity 1, quantity 2. Now you have to put the values in this formula and you can easily find the elasticity of supply with the help of given formula. Next is the determinants of price elasticity of supply. First is the nature of commodity. In case of perishable goods, supply is inelastic, and in case of durable good, supply is elastic. Next is a time. There are when we discuss about the time, we are taking 3 time periods. Very short period. In case of very short period, supply is perfectly inelastic because we cannot increase the supply. In short period, supply is elastic. In long period, supply is highly elastic because you can increase the supply as per the given scenario. Next is a determinant of price elasticity of supply. Next, this one is a production technique. Production technique, if it is complicated, then supply is inelastic, but if it is not complicated, then supply is comparatively elastic. Next is the stages of laws of return. लॉज ऑफ रिटर्न में हम डिस्कस करते हैं डिमिनिशिंग रिटर्न, कांस्टेंट रिटर्न एंड इंक्रीजिंग रिटर्न. अगर हमारा डिमिनिशिंग रिटर्न में आ रहा है तो आपका वो इनइलास्टिक हो जाएगा बिकॉज देयर इज़ नो यूज़ टू इंक्रीज मोर ऑफ प्रोडक्शन एंड दिस इज़ नॉट प्रॉफिटेबल फॉर द फर्म. कांस्टेंट रिटर्न के केस में इलास्टिक रहेगा, इंक्रीजिंग रिटर्न के केस में दिस इज़ हाईली इलास्टिक. Now there are few questions for your reference, and you can do these questions after the this presentation. I hope this will be quite helpful when you solve all these questions for your reference.